Hello. I'm working on my rear brake caliper on my Pajero diesel 2000 model car, and today's job was to replace the seals on both brakes. I have 4 seals for the front brakes and for the rear, and the rear one was kind of important because this piston seized in the past, so got me into some trouble. I had to stop on the side of the highway. Luckily, I had a bucket of water, like a gallon of water, and I cooled down the brake. Then later, I got some water from a creek, but it kept seizing until I tried to take it apart, and because the seal, the rubber was exposed to very high temperature. When I tried to take the piston out, I broke the seal, and I ordered parts from Japan, the replacement seal kit, but I had to use the car in the meanwhile, so I drove with no seal for about a month. And first time when I took this one out, I noticed that it has lots of scratches and marks and dings because of the high temperature. Even the copper probably melted, I don't know. But I assume that maybe some stuff got in there, and maybe the grease or the brake brake fluid got burned out and made this type of surface. I have no idea, maybe a chemical reaction from the broken down brake fluid. I cannot say that. This video is not a educational video. It's not meant to teach you how you fix your car. You should have a university degree and a master of a doctor in science and a couple of other degrees in order to fix your brake, because your life depends on it. I don't know, I thought to make a joke, but this is a common trouble people, normal people, regular people, hobby people, doing yourself people do that all the time. So it's not a complex repair, and it saves you a very expensive assembly. This in Canada, it's about $400 something plus shipping. And it's not only the cost, but once you fix it, you have a satisfaction that you save some money. And in my case, I can use those money to go skiing or some other mountain adventures. But makes you learn and get out of your comfort zone. Now, how I do this repair? So this piston, in this case, is this part number, but again, you should check online and make sure you order the correct parts, because the package I got, the parts I've got, 2 are already different part numbers. Then I have to ship them back maybe. So make sure you order the correct part numbers for your particular car. And in this case, this is a brand new piston. It should be made out of copper alloy, and if I look inside, it looks like a copper, and high precision machining. And first you need to take apart this kit that comes with 2 bags of grease. And how you find out which grease where it goes. And it took me some time to dig on the internet, because my my phone app, the translation, the Google Translate, could not translate a word from this label. So I took those out of the package, and I tried to read with my phone, translate in English from Japanese, but I could not find any words in English from this, what this one does, where it goes. So what I did, I went by the phone number. So I took this phone number, it got me to a chemical manufacturing company in Japan. I could not find the product, which is says right here on the top RM, and this one is RX2. So this phone number did not get me to any lead, any product lineup in that company website, but there is another phone number right here, and it got me to another company. So the company is called Nippon Grease Co. Ltd. and the website is nippon-grease.co.jp. And the products I'm talking about are Nike Lube, lithium soap, Tango, battery excellent compatibility with rubber. So the red one I'm going to use around the rubber seals, and it says rubber grease for brakes. And the orange one, it says Nike Lube RM, special type thickener orange, battery for use in high temperatures, rubber grease for lubrication of disc brakes and drum brakes, also for bearings. So I'm going to use the orange one, the RM2, to lubricate the sliding pins, and those are these two pins. And if you look at this diagram shows that this pin, the guides or the sliding pins, have a bushing here, like small rubber bushing at the bottom. So make sure this one goes at the bottom, this one without a rubber bushing or tip goes on the top. And this is the seal kit. So this O-ring goes first, piston, this seal, and this ring, the metal ring, that's kind of a locking ring. And you see the seal kit right here, and shows you that it has a bag, and also the orientation of these rubber boots. So you see that they have a like kind of a tip, and it shows this tip where it goes. It goes against this part of the brake. So you see this one has a rubber. So you take this package out, and you will see this rubber bushing, whatever little cylinder it is. So you can just pop this one out, it's easy, with your fingernail, and slide this one back in. And I've used already, but I'm just suggesting. I can't say it's the correct purpose for this orange one. I would use this one on the sliding pins and the mating surfaces here and here and in here, where it is mating with the other brake pad. But the red one I'm going to use to lubricate these rubber seals, and I'm going to lubricate here inside. And also these rubber boots, I will put some of the orange grease inside. So in the past I used this type of Permatex, and I have even a better quality, some made in Germany thing. But what I noticed after a couple of months of use, and it took me some time to figure out, I took the wheel out and I did some inspection, and I noticed the brake lubricant, the high temperature lubricant, was washed off by the rain and whatever. And I can't say this one if it's a good quality or not. I've used a bit. This is an open package. I might use some of that. In the other brake, I've used only this one. It was just enough. Now, also I will use some of the red one here, because when you slide the piston in, it requires a little bit of pressure. So you make sure you slide it perpendicular nicely, because if you go sideways or something like that, these are not sharp edges, but they are sharp enough for this O-ring to cut, to make some marks on it. So you don't want that, because this is part of it's a sealing system. It prevents the brake fluid, the brake oil, to sneak out, to get out. And this one is just preventing the dirt to get in and mix with brake fluid. So it doesn't have a real sealing property. It has some of the seal property at the lip here because of this ring, but don't rely on that. This is the main seal. So make sure you, when you slide this one in, you go by feel. If you feel that it kind of goes too hard, maybe rotate, maybe move a little bit left, right, but don't apply too much pressure, because like I said, you can crush this rubber if you force too much. And also clean the old lubricant, the brake lubricant from the mating surface. And this one needs to be torqued at 113 Newton meters. So I have a torque adapter, a torque measuring device and adapter. And for other parts, like for the bleeder, I use this torque wrench, which goes for smaller pressure, smaller forces. But for 113, this is perfect. And that's it. So it's not big of a deal to install these items here. And it took me some time to figure out the trick. So if you put in this one first, then you don't have enough room to squeeze this ring and squeeze the I mean, you could put this one in first. It's easy. And you put the assembly, the piston and that seal in, but I don't know if you can squeeze this one around into this groove here and settle this one properly, because if you don't sit it properly in that groove, you may have one lip sticking out, or I don't know, but I tried different methods, and it's really tricky. And what I did, I ended up installing, so first this one goes in first into the second groove right there. Then the first one towards it, it goes this lip. So you put the O-ring in here, but because this one it's opened to make pressure of this seal rubber against this cylinder here, it takes you some time to play around with it and make sure this sharp end of the ring is not going to puncture a hole into the seal, right? So you have to be a little bit of a patient. So once you fit it here inside nicely, then you may want to extend the lip, this opening. You might want to extend it something like that, and until that little opening is, so this one comes out kind of like that. But once this one is in, then you need to squeeze, like open this opening and squeeze the this part of the cylinder, I mean the piston. So it's a bit tricky, and if you lose your patience, you might pull this one out, and now you have to push it back in because it's full of grease. Unless you want to use the grease later. Grease it, but how you do it, I don't know. I did it, I greased first this mating surfaces and this one. Maybe it works better for you if you grease it at the end, but how you get the grease on this side, I have no idea. I mean, everything is possible in the world, but maybe you need to try and see how it goes for you. So again, this is not an instructional video how to do things. It's just some tips, especially how you find where this grease goes. And again, this one goes at the bottom. This sliding pin goes at the top. You make sure you add some grease on it, because this is going to slide all the time. Every time you apply brakes, this one is going to slide like that. So this is a mobile, it's a moving part. So once you apply brake, this one must be lubricated, otherwise it gets stuck at certain position and is going to wear the brake pad. And I let you do things by yourself and enjoy your mechanical repair, and be proud that you did something out of your hands and mind, because that's why you are here. You're built to do more than you think you can do. So let you enjoy your repair. Take care. Bye bye.